I was going to wear my little bunny rabbit ears for you this morning. What happened? Well, my little rabbit didn't want to let them go. Sorry? Where's my flash shirt? Oh, I thought I'd catch you all off guard. Right now you're expecting the Hawaiian shirt, right? Well, no. Anyway, thanks for, I know I have all of you in here, and I've gathered you all in here, and first of all, I would like to say thank you. Thanks for coming along, but as soon as you guys have sat down, we're going to be leaving. I'm going to keep this really, really short and very, very quick. And I want you guys to be heading out and enjoying your day. Now, I've actually just, a couple of things I have to bring up before we get started. I've actually just returned from the captain's meeting. Every cruise we have a captain's meeting. And I have some interesting news for you. Of course, the first news is good. It's a beautiful day. Calm seas. Making good time. The bad news is we're lost. The captain was going on about something about Tahiti. Dreaming. All right, everyone. Look, here we go. I'm going to give you a quick rundown, and you'll be well informed about the debarkation process when we arrive into Sydney. Not, of course, tomorrow. It will be the following day. Now, a couple of things to remember. Tomorrow night, the night before we arrive into Sydney, the casino will close. So if you've got opened a player bank at the casino, at the pokies, or maybe you've got casino chips, cash them out the night before we arrive in Sydney, which will be tomorrow night. Because if you don't, the casino will be closed on Sydney morning, and those casino chips will become expensive souvenirs. Also, your gift shops will also close tomorrow night. The gift shops are not open on Sydney morning, and that's a mistake people make. They think, oh, I'll do my shopping during the debark process. By law, we're not allowed to have them open. Okay, so today and tomorrow is your last chance for tax and duty-free shopping, and take advantage of the deals. And I'd recommend you do your shopping earlier rather than say tomorrow afternoon, because tomorrow afternoon it seems like everyone on board wants to do that last-minute shopping in the gift shop. So take advantage of their time now. Some things you need to know about your sail and sign card. A statement will be delivered for your sail and sign card. It will be delivered the morning we arrive into Sydney, a final statement. If you would like to pay off money on a credit card using cash and pay off your credit card, or you check your balance, or change bigger notes or smaller notes, whatever it may be, you can do it all at these little kiosks. The kiosks, you've seen them. There's one just out here on deck 2. There's one on the other side of the casino on deck 2 as well. But it's very, very simple. But you can pretty much manage your sail and sign card by touching the screen. It'll step you through it. It's really simple. Okay? Now, if there is a discrepancy on your sail and sign card of some kind, of course, go to the guest services desk. They're there for you. They're there to assist whatever you may need. Okay? All right, now, there'll be a handful of documents delivered to your cabin today and tomorrow, and this is one of them. This is your Australian landing card. You must have this fully completed. Every person must have this fully completed when they arrive and disembark the ship, not tomorrow, but the following day when we arrive in Sydney. Pretty straightforward. If you've ever travelled before, I'm sure most of you have filled one out before. It's got some basic details of your, your name. It's got flight number, name of ship, of course, Carnival Spirit. You tick the boxes, yes or no, whatever it may be. Coming down to this side of it, there's some boxes, please be honest, but it's also got some areas between these two lines here in regards to quarantine regulations and agriculture. Please be very accurate and quite specific, because heavy fines apply for people, whether they're cruise ship guests or people flying from overseas or whatever. Heavy fines apply for people who try to sneak things in to Australia and they don't declare it. If there's any doubt at all, declare it, and there'll be inspectors on board and in the terminal to answer any of the questions you may have. Okay? Now, some of the things you must declare, any food or plant products, anything, carvings made of wood, whatever it may be. You cannot take any food off the ship after you enjoy breakfast. Breakfast will be served up on Lido Deck and the Empire and inside the Empire Dining Room on Debarkation morning, which certainly won't let you go home hungry. Enjoy a full breakfast. Do not take any food ashore. Now, to make sure you declare everything. I cannot stress that enough. Now, when we arrive into Sydney, alongside the overseas passenger terminal, and we'll arrive at 6:30, be ready to go at 7 a.m. Officials, Australian quarantine officials, will come on board and they'll be wearing bright yellow/green type safety vests, and they'll say quarantine officer or agricultural officer, something along those lines. Now, they will be walking along deck 2 and deck 3 and also up on the leader deck. Now, if you've got anything to declare, and I would recommend you keep your belongings separate with you if you've got something to declare, and you have your Australian landing card, that yellow landing card. Have it with you. If you see them walking on deck 2 or on deck 3 or maybe up on the leader deck while the debarkation process is going on, you can go up to them, approach them. This is why they're here. They're doing it for us. And you can pre-clear yourself for your quarantine items. Now, if you do not see them on board, maybe you get called to disembark before you see them, well, they'll be outside as well. But the reason they do it like this is for everyone's benefit here, that you can see them before you head out, and they'll save a massive line being created outside in the terminal. Okay? So again, if you don't see them on board, if you do, go and approach them. But if you don't see them, you'll definitely meet them outside. Every single person must go through this agricultural and quarantine inspection. Does that make sense? But you'll see them around, and they'll be wearing the yellow vest. And again, if you don't see them on board, they will be outside for sure. And they are here for us. They're good people like you and I, and they are here to answer all your questions. So please don't try to sneak anything that may be questionable. Now, your customs allowances for our guests over the age of 18, $900 Australian per person. This is items you've purchased in any of the islands and items you've purchased in your gift shops on board. 2.25 litres of alcohol, of course, over the age of 18, and 50 cigarettes. 50 grams of cigars or tobacco products, but it's $450 for anyone under the age of 18. So take advantage of your allowances. If you do go over the allowances, you just may have to pay a duty, okay? Now, early in the cruise, we sent you a little flyer to your cabin, and we have to put your name and your cabin number and tick a series of boxes. And that was telling us your debarkation or your travel arrangements. Some of you have a domestic flight with Virgin or maybe Jetstar. Some of you have a domestic flight with Qantas. Some of you are taking a train. Some of you are driving. Some of you are staying in Sydney. Well, from all that information that you gave us, we've arranged your debarkation arrangements for you. Okay? Now, there's a couple of different categories that we'll be dividing you up into. Guests who are choosing to participate in the self-assist program. Now, self-assist means that you can comfortably manage your luggage off the ship and keep it with you and walk off the ship. When I don't want to say carry it, because you don't have to carry it, but if it has wheels, most luggage does these days, there'll be escalators, elevators, and you don't really have to go up and down stairs. But if you can comfortably do it all at once, you can participate in what we call the self-assist program. And we'll be calling you down to the gangway by letters. Now, these letters will be a sticker format, okay? Just like this. There'll be a sticker, and we're going to ask you to wear the sticker on your shirt. Now, these stickers and these letters will be on a sticker. A sticker will be in an envelope and delivered to your cabin. The morning of debarkation, wear that letter so it's very, very visible on your shirt. Okay? Now, the reason we ask for that is because when you disembark the ship, there'll be people outside in the terminal, and they'll be looking for different letters for guests who have different travel arrangements. For example, if you're taking a taxi or you've got a flight, whatever, they'll see, oh, number 8, we see A, you go this way. B, you go that way. C, this way. A, this way. So have that letter visible on you. And we'll be calling you down to the gangway by that letter. Okay, so have that sticker ready to go. Now, going back a bit, those envelopes that will be delivered to your cabin will look a little bit like this. There'll be ones with self-assist numbers, and there'll be also zone numbers. And I'll get to the zone numbers in a second. So there's the stickers. All right. Now, the other option is for those guests. Okay. Thanks for embarrassing me in front of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 million people! There are no more stickers. Okay, so let me get back to the beginning. G'day everyone, happy Easter. Okay. Apparently it changed. Okay, you will get a flyer. You will not get a sticker, but you will get the flyer. Just know which letter that you are on. Okay, that was the update. I've actually had a little break. I've been away for a couple of months, and the update, well, even though I asked, wasn't explained to me apparently. Anyway, so there is no sticker, but everyone will still be going by that letter. So just be aware of what your letter is if you are asked. We'll have ABC through to L, and this is for guests who are participating in self-assist. Again, you must be able to physically and comfortably manage all your luggage off the ship at once. And that doesn't mean giving a suitcase, to your young daughter that's 8 years old, that's bigger than her, and saying, "Hey, honey, carry this." Okay. So make sure you can comfortably carry all your luggage. Now, if you cannot carry all of your luggage off the ship, you can participate in what we call zone debarkation. Now, that means the night before we arrive in Sydney, from about 8 p.m. up until about 11 p.m, pack up all your luggage, okay, and leave it outside the cabin with one of these. Now, the envelopes that you've received, have you received them already? Yes. Okay, maybe if you haven't, you'll be receiving them today. But that envelope has this number in it. Now, this number will correspond with the travel information that you gave us on that flyer that I mentioned earlier on. Now, put this on each piece of luggage. If you need more tags, go and talk to the friendly guest services desk, and they'll assist you with it. Okay, and they'll give you another one. But put one of these tags on each piece of luggage. Put your name and your details on the back, on the flip side, and leave each piece of luggage outside the cabin. Now, don't pack your valuables. Don't pack your passport or your Australian landing card. Don't pack cash or credit cards. Keep all this with you with toiletries and medication in a little carry-on with you. Keep that with you overnight. Put the majority of your luggage outside the cabin for collection. Okay? Now, it'll be collected by your stateroom stewards and your housekeeping team members throughout the evening. It'll be stored in a marshalling area under 24-hour security. The next time you'll see it will be the morning we arrive in Sydney. It'll be stacked outside in the cruise ship terminal, and it'll be stacked by the rows, by these numbers. Okay? Now, it's very, very important, and this is what is very, very important. It's very important you only come to the gangway when your zone number has been called. Now, different numbers will go to two different gangways here at the Overseas Passenger Terminal. There will be a forward gangway and there will be a midship gangway. Now, we'll be calling the zone numbers two separate gangways. So please, whatever you do, do not make your way to the gangway until your zone number has been called. Okay, that's really, really important. Now, if you have pre-arranged transfers and you've arranged through us pre-arranged transfers to whether it's maybe Central Station or whether it's Sydney Airport, whatever it may be, and you have one of these numbers. Now, I don't expect you to remember this right now, but you will receive a flyer with all this information printed, okay, on it. Now, if you have one of these numbers, we ask you to meet at the time printed on this flyer inside this theatre the morning of debarkation, okay? On the flyer, it'll have all these numbers and a time to meet. And we will group you together and escort you to the gangway, to a separate gangway. From there, you will meet up with your particular transportation that will take you to the airport. For example, as an example, number one will have domestic terminal flight from Terminal 1 with Jetstar, which was going at 10 a.m. Number 3, we'll have Qantas from Terminal 3, domestic airport, flights leaving at 11:30. Does that make sense? So ultimately, just make sure you read this information flyer very carefully pertaining to your particular zone number, okay? Now, breakfast will be served up on the leader deck and in the inside the Empire dining room. The waiting areas, whatever you do, please do not approach the gangway until you have been specifically called, because it just creates congestion and slows down a smooth flow of traffic. Now, please don't wait on deck 3, you can wait on deck 2, wait in your cabins up until about 8:30 a.m. You can wait in your cabins. There will be no open deck announcements made because we have to abide by Sydney's environmental laws and noise regulations. So no open deck announcements will be made inside the restaurant Lido, inside the corridors and things like that. But there'll be nothing on the open decks. Okay, so please just be aware of that. But please don't approach the gangway. That's the most important thing. Wheelchair assistance will be offered, but for only guests who have left their luggage out for collection. If you're participating in self-assist, you cannot and we will not offer you wheelchair assistance because we can't be wheeling you in a wheelchair and then trying to manage your suitcase as well. Okay? So if you are participating in self-assist, we cannot offer you wheelchair assistance. Okay? And sometimes we've seen, granted not here, but in the US, I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen like a lady with an electric scooter, her suitcase in the scooter, and she's trying to walk alongside the scooter. Anyway, I said, Mum? All right. Now, wheelchair assistance will be available for only those guests who leave their luggage out for collection. Now, the wheelchairs will be available for their guests who will be meeting inside here, and for everyone else, they'll be down in the Deco Lounge on deck 3 down the back of the ship. When you hear your zone number being called, head down to the Deco Lounge, or if you're already in here, and let them know you need some wheelchair assistance. Again, if you are participating in self-assist, we cannot and we will not be offering you wheelchair assistance. All right, now once you get outside into the cruise ship terminal, you will see all the luggage stacked into rows, okay? Identify your luggage, that's very, very important. Whether it's at an airport, at the carousel, at an airport, or at a bus terminal, or a cruise ship, always identify your luggage. Look at the tag, identify the name, the details on there, make sure it's your luggage, because typically a customs law is if you pick up a bag and start walking with it, it's considered yours. And you don't want to be accountable for someone else's luggage, right? Of course not. You may be surprised. You may be surprised to know you may not be the only person on board this ship with a black bag with little wheels on the bottom. Throwing it out there. All right. And a common question is, and I had a little Q&A over the last couple of days. I had to do it a couple of times, and tomorrow morning at about 10:30, I'll do a little story session for you. But a common question is it against the company policy if you would like to extend a gratuity or tip any of your service staff? It's not automatically included at all, but if you wish to do that, yes you can, and this is a common question. And actually, I'll be down here to answer any questions you may have. Also, we have members of guest services out at the entrance out there. If you would like to maybe go from luggage collection to self-assist. Self-assist is ultimately the option that most guests prefer, and it's what I would recommend because it's just so convenient and it's so easy for you. If you do choose to change to self-assist, if you have a pre-arranged transfer, you cannot participate in the self-assist program. Just sort of throw that out there. But if you need clarification, your friendly guest services are just set up here in the lounge as well. And I'll be down here to answer any questions you may have. And one of these common questions is, can you tip your service staff? Yes, you can. I'm sure they'd very much appreciate it. If you wish, you can go to the guest services desk. Not actually approach the desk. Across 5 feet off the desk, there'll be a little rack, and it's got a whole lot of envelopes in it. And if you want to, you can take one of these envelopes, and you can put a sum of cash in it if you wish, and you can hand it to those particular team members, and it'll go straight into their pocket. It doesn't go into a big pool of everybody. If you offer someone something, it stays in their pocket, and I'm sure they If you're offering it, I'm sure they very well deserve it, and it's a nice gesture. So feel free to do that if you wish. The flyer looks a little bit like this. It will be delivered to your cabin later this afternoon. It's step-by-step everything that you need to know. It talks about confiscated items on the gangway. It talks about the update of allowances, customs allowances, and all that sort of stuff. As you make your way to the gangway, very important to have your Australian landing card in your hand, but also your sail and sign card to punch you out one more time. And from that point onwards, that sail and sign card, it becomes your souvenir to stick on your refrigerator door. Now, when you collect enough of these that covers your entire refrigerator door, Carnival Cruise Lines will give you a new fridge door. That's all I got. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Head out of here. We've got some crazy fun antics for Easter. Don't miss the big Easter video session this afternoon, or whenever